What is up, everybody? This is Nathan Man here, and guess what? I'm filming a video. Astounding, right? Today I'm going to be doing my third park review, or fourth, depends on whether you consider the Universal SeaWorld 1 or 2 park reviews, it depends. But today, we went to an actual amusement park. Astounding, I know. Oh, this one, the amusement park and theme park are not the same thing. I don't care what people say. Theme parks are around the experience. Amusement parks are about how much adrenaline you have running through you by the end. So I'm just gonna kind of go quick fire some roller coasters here real quick. You got Banshee, the B&M Invert. My favorite roller coaster, not just in the park, just ever. It was, wow, it's just so fast. And the lift hill, in the videos I watched, it looks really slow, but it actually goes up really, really fast. The restraints on Banshee are like the best roller coaster restraints ever. I don't really see people talking about that much, but they really are fantastic. The next big one on is Diamondback. This is a hypercoaster. It's red. It's a snake themed ride. I believe it was my second hypercoaster I've ever ridden, right next to Mako, which I believe they covered in my SeaWorld video. Oh, it was tall, that's for sure. I definitely had a moment of hesitance before going on it, even though I'm trying to be a roller coaster enthusiast. I'm never gonna make it to King's Dominion, or Canada's Wonderland, or Cedar Point, or anywhere that has a decent Giga coaster if I can't just get past my fear of heights. So it's gonna be a big thing going forward, but I don't know. It was a fun roller coaster. I can't really say it was little, but the splashdown at the end definitely was nice. It didn't really go upside down, but the turns on this thing were just so majestic and smooth. It was like butter. This park is known for its big Charlie Din and wooden monster the Beast. It might sound familiar to anybody. Like, this is a very infamous ride. I didn't know much about it, but when I rode it, I realized what has the reputation it has. It's old, but it has stood the test of time astoundingly. It's honestly pretty insane how well it holds up. It's also long. Like, about halfway through the ride, I'm like, shouldn't it be done by now? Like, I knew it was long, but it felt like I was on there for like 10 minutes. It was interesting for sure. The other big Woody in the park was Mystic Timbers. This is often considered the best in the park, and I have to say no. I still think it's Banshee, Diamondback, but this one is a solid third place for me. Honestly, it was. I actually thought it was an RMC going into this. I found out later it was a GCI. GCI, good job. This was an amazing ride. The shed was kind of lame though. Oh, what's in the shed? Just some screens and lots of waiting around for a song to finish. It was honestly not that entertaining, the shed, but the rest of the ride was good. It was a good ride. Another Woody, it was the Racer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this one I think did open with the park. It was a very big surprise. It's brutally simple, and that's what I love about it. It just kind of goes wee. There's a few roller coasters like that out there, but I rode this twice. I actually got a front row and middle row on this. Both were astounding. We actually got one to race one time. That was definitely an experience. Dueling coasters are way better when they're actually dueling. Astounding, I know. Now we need to talk about the roller coasters I didn't ride, and there was only one. Listen, I rode every coaster that was available. Like, there was one coaster that was down, and was probably the worst roller coaster in the park in Vertigo, so it's a Vekoma Boomerang. If you know anything about roller coasters, you know what it's like. It is inverted, which makes it kind of special, meaning like the track is above you, but it really didn't look special. Oh, it didn't. It's a Vekoma. What do you want on it from it? On the same section as Banshee and in Vertigo, there was this thing called the Bat. It was a pretty hefty walk, really. We had a hard time. Like, are we in the exit, or were we going to the entrance? We obviously found it, and what a bizarre experience. Like, that is a unique ride. Like the fact that you swift forward and backwards. A few people I was with didn't really like that, but I just found it to be weird. The theming was good though. Like going through the forest as a bat, that was pretty cool. One of my first Frisbee, and that's, and for you, those of you who don't know, this is like the one where you have like the long stick, and there's like the circle at the end of it, and it goes like rotates. It goes like this way. It was really fun actually, and it's like right next to the beast. So I continued thought, oh my god, we're gonna crash to the beast. I mean the Banshee. Sorry, Banshee. It's right next to Banshee. It was a fun time. That's for sure. I like if that thing ever has a malfunction, it's going straight into Banshee and destroying Banshee. That won't be fun if that actually happens. I also went on this ride called Backlot Stunt Coaster. From what I'm aware of, there is one at King's Dominion that's virtually the same. But this one is one of the few launch coasters in the park, along with Flyfield, which we'll be talking about after this one. This one is seemed to be on like a Hollywood movie set. Backlot Stunt Coaster, ha ha ha, hilarious. But like, it was forceful, but I didn't really find it to be all that exciting. Like, it was speedy, but it wasn't really like intense, like some of the other rides I read that day. You also have Fly to Fear. I believe this one is another one that at King's Dominion. Please fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this one's also at King's Dominion. This is an indoor coaster, which means you can't see where you're going. You're completely blind. It was intense. It was fast. It was everything an indoor coaster should be. Haven't been to Disney. I'm pretty sure that's what Space Mountain is, but I'll have to see when I actually get to Disney. And there's also this other coaster. It was I believe it's an Arrow. It's called Vortex. You may have heard in the news that they're closing it. Like, I got on there a few months later. Oh, we're tearing it down. Listen, Coaster Studios has which is one of the biggest coaster channels. I'll link the video down in the description. But they're tearing it down. I rode this ride twice because I just wanted to see how painful. The first ride is fine. It was perfectly fine. Although, I will say, at the top of the lift hill, you felt so exposed. You were like, oh god, I swear there's about to be a hawk or something coming by. It was weird. But the second time, it was significantly more painful. I rode this like almost back to back. I think there was like one train that ran in between my first go and my second go. Not really sure what happened between the two. Maybe it's just that I got banged up more the second time, because I already got banged up a lot the first time, but I don't know. I don't know. I also went on to the two actual kiddie coasters. The Great Pumpkin Coaster, like I didn't even bother. I guess that you can consider that coaster, but there's coasters in people's backyards that are bigger than that, so I don't really consider it. You got Woodstock Express, which is like, it's more of a family ride. I wouldn't call it like a purely for kids, but like it definitely had this aspect of excitement to it. Not as big as like other wooden coasters, but like it was decent. You also had Flying East Aerial Chase. It was a Vekoma Junior coaster. I know that may scare some of you coaster enthusiasts out there, but it wasn't terrible. This was the first ride I got a front row seat on, and it was a Vekoma. Flame me in the comments all you want. Assuming Coppa doesn't strike this one down, I would say this is for kids. I hope it's not. This park also has a decent variety of flat rides. You have the Frisbee I mentioned earlier. They also have a pretty tall drop tower that wasn't brave enough to go on, because it was like taller than anything in the park. Besides like the Eiffel Tower. I guess you could consider the Eiffel Tower a ride, but I don't think, no, it's not. You just kind of go up a really tall elevator, and then you just kind of look around. Like, you feel like so tall up there. It's actually kind of insane. You also have a Windseeker. It's like right next to Vortex. Thanks. So I didn't go on that one either, because again, I'm afraid of heights. I don't like the whole drop tower Windseeker, because I just feel so far from the ground, which I'm gonna guess that's what it's for. I would comment on the water park, but I couldn't really tell you anything about it because I didn't actually go into the water park. It looked cool, but that's all I can really say about it. The food there was good. I'd say it's better than some other parks I've been to. Six Flags. I'm talking to you. I'll make the Six Flags review on the Six Flags park I've been to eventually, but who knows? Like, another half year wait for the next review. There was also a pretty cool show I saw while I was there. I completely forgot what it was called, but it's where these people did like was supposed to be on like an alien planet or something and did a bunch of cool tricks. It started out with like bikes, and then it started going into like doing flips and stuff like that. It was very bizarre, but like, I mean, it was hot the day I went. Like, it was hot and humid, and so me and my party were all like, "Oh my god, it's burning here." So we went to the show just to get out of the heat. They also have a few arcades around. We went to one of those, and well, I got a poop emoji. For reference, this is the actual thing I redeemed from the Kings Island arcade. You can see how absolutely beautiful he is. This guy, what should we name him, guys? Tell me what we should name him. I need a name for him. Right now we've just been calling him Golden Poop. Not very original, I know. So now I think the age group actually really it depends. How many people in your party want to go on the thrill rides? How many do not? Because there's a decent amount of rides that are not thrill based. But like, if you want to have the full Kings Island experience, you need to go on all the thrill rides. I would recommend the Fast Lane Plus, which is what we got because we wanted to get to everything. Because this park is crowded a lot. I also recommend getting the Souvenir Cup. If you're just going for one day, just get the one that gets you free wheel post for that day, not for the entire season. If you live near the place and like in Cincinnati or something, and then sure, get the all season free refill. And it's a pretty good deal, to be honest with you, because like, again, it was hot, so we were taking full advantage of that. We drank a lot of Sprite and water. Anything that was clear. Pretty sure we threw in some fans in there at some point, but that's beside the point. Anyway, the age rating, I'd say like, I mean, it depends on how tall you are. I'd say around like maybe 7 up would be a decent, like, people who are 7, 8 or 9, like, they should be able to ride most of the stuff. Maybe not like the biggest ones, but they should be able to ride the majority of everything. So I think 7 and up would be the ideal demographic for this park. So that's pretty much going to do it for my review of Kings Island. Overall, I just gave it a perfect score. I couldn't really find anything I didn't like about that. Vertigo being shut down, honestly, wasn't that bad. It's a Vekoma, so not too mad about that. It has an amazing collection. And my first park in the Cedar Fair chain, not disappointed. So I await to go to more Cedar Fair parks, big Cedar Fair parks like Cedar Point, Carowinds, etc. in the future. So, in the meantime, see ya.